Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I hope everyone's doing well, and I know everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next extraordinary guest is a fifth generation psychic medium known for her bold, strikingly accurate predictions about world events, U.S. affairs, and personal trajectories. She predicted a major health crisis in 2019, just months before the pandemic, foresaw the tragic helicopter and airplane crash in the Washington, D.C. area days before it occurred in early 2025, accurately called the outcome of the most recent U.S. presidential election, and since the significant event in unfolding on January 1st, 2025, the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion. And there's a whole lot more, but without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Dallisa Hocking. How are you doing today, Dallisa?
Lute, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Lute. I know we're going to have a great conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely, Delissa. And before I move further, I would just like to say that I believe that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to decide to spend even a moment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. Thank you for being here at this present moment.
Thank you. I think all we really have is this present moment, right? Because
Absolutely.
that's where all of the treasures are, is right here in this next breath and right where we're sitting right now.
Right now. Yes. 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 I received that. So let's just get right into it, Delissa. Fifth generation psychic medium. Okay. So give us a little bit of backstory, front story, in between on how and you became this and you first noticed, or just give us a little story and it'll grow from there. But yeah, give us a little clarity on this.
Oh, it is quite a story. This was not
Okay.
on my bingo card for my
Okay.
life. So,
Okay.
I was a dating coach and a matchmaker,
Okay.
and I owned that company when everything changed in August of 2015. So I had that company. I was working at a business school in Texas. And at the last minute, I decided I was going to go up to New York to the Omega Institute to go to a workshop. And the workshop was all about synchronicity. And these co facilitators decided that they're going to teach this workshop on how they've basically proven that there are no accidents and everything happens for a reason. And
Mhm. Right.
it's it's amazing that this is the backdrop of where my life changed. But I got done with the retreat and went over to a friend's house who just so happened to have a home in the middle of the woods near this retreat center.
Right.
And I hadn't seen him in a while. I used to work with him on a project in Las Vegas. And so we were just catching up and eating dinner, and his phone rings. His family had called to let him know that his aunt had unexpectedly passed away that day. She had fallen down a flight of stairs.
Mm.
So, of
Okay.
course, I feel terrible for my friend. And it was pretty late at that point. So we went off to our separate bedrooms and I go to sleep. I don't think anything else of it as I'm drifting off to sleep about his aunt who had just died because I didn't know his family. I never met his Aunt Barbara who had passed away. But wouldn't you know, Aunt Barbara comes to me while I'm sleeping that night at my friend's house.
Wow.
And the woman who had just died hours before, and I could see her in the dream state, the astral state,
Mm.
and I could see what she looked like. I could hear her, but her mouth wasn't moving, so she was speaking to me through telepathy.
Hmm. Hmm.
And she said, "Please tell my nephew I'm okay. I made it to the other side."
Wow.
And that was the extent of her message. I wake up the next morning and I realize in that moment that something incredibly profound had happened. And so I go out to the kitchen, I deliver the message to my friend. He asked what she looked like. I described her facial features, her hair, and he said, "That's her." And a couple days later, he was at her service and her photo was on display, and he took a picture and he sent it to me, and it was exactly as I had seen her a couple nights before when I was sleeping over at his house. So
Wow.
that's where it all started. But yeah,
And
I
this
am
was
fifth
what year?
generation.
I'm sorry.
August of 2015.
August of 2015. So, yeah, over 10 years ago.
Over
Okay,
10,
go.
it
Go ahead.
completely,
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good. It changed everything though, because
Okay.
I grew up in a family where we all talked very openly about spirituality and
Mm,
predictions and
right.
ghosts. And my grandmother could see full body apparitions walking through her home with
Right.
her physical eyes. Her grandmother could do the same.
Mm,
So I knew that the trip to New York had fundamentally changed everything. And so when I got back to Texas, I decided I was going to do a beta test.
right.
And I took some of the audio recording that was from the retreat I was just at. That's
Hmm.
more of binaural beats. It's a company.
Yes.
I'm not affiliated with them, but Sacred
Right.
Acoustics is the company.
Right.
And I started playing their audio files again when I got home. And I thought this might be why I was able to receive a mediumship message from a woman I'd never met before. So I did a beta test. I selected people I knew, but didn't really know what was happening in their life at that moment, and asked them if I could channel for them. And they said yes. And so what I would do is get out pen and paper and write their first name at the top of the piece of paper,
Mm,
turn on the audio file, listen to it just like I've got my headphones on here. And I'd start writing down everything that I would see, hear, feel. And then I would get on the phone with the person and say, okay, this is what I got. And they would go, how did you know that about me? Nobody knows that about me. I said, oh, perfect. It's working.
yeah.
I
It's
was
really
excited.
happening. This is really, yeah.
It's really happening. So that's the thread I just have been pulling for the last decade.
Right.
And it led to having my own live stage show in Las Vegas that I had.
Mm,
I
wow.
still perform that as well in the US. So I had my own spiritual center in Las Vegas that had a huge team of practitioners. So it grew and grew. But over the last 6 years, once the pandemic happened, I turned everything really virtual with my
Right.
company. So
Right.
now, we can talk to anybody anywhere and it's very normal.
Right. Right. And yeah, it's amazing. So yes, thank you for that insight. And I find it always amazing how there's always like some starting point to what ends up being, our gifts and our passions. It's always some type of event or moment that happened, and I align with that in regard to my self transformation to who I'm becoming, who I am now. I can attribute that to a date in 2016, and yeah, it's just amazing, you know. And 2019 as well. It's just, and I know exactly what was happening and what awoken me to certain things about myself, and just amazing. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing. Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I want to ask you a question because I was just reflecting on this week.
Right.
Do you
Go ahead.
feel like, yeah, you just shared 2016, 2019. I had my, 2015. To me, it came out of the blue so unexpected, and I think life has a way of bringing you these major life pivots on a
Right.
random Tuesday when you're not thinking about it and it just drops in and something just comes out of the blue. Do you find in when you think about your own dates with 2016 and so on that that was the case for you? Like, did it feel very unexpected?
Um, yes and no. I can say yes, it felt unexpected because I had already been through um circumstances, similar adversities in my life. But for some reason, this particular time, something was different. Something caused me more to uh, look within myself and say, hey, block out everything else, block out all these reasons behind who you think, what you think caused this. We're only going to look at you. And something told me that, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And then all these just random things, like you said, it was unexpected. At some aspect, in some capacity, that I just started looking up this information, that was really resonating with me and causing me to dive deeper into my own self and my own uh, dormant gifts and passions. And yeah, so yeah, yeah, I would say both,
Mhm.
but more like you said, unexpected, because like I said, I had been going through life at a certain way, and then all of a sudden something just said, okay, you've already experienced enough, and went through life with this type of perspective and this type of whatever, but now it's time for a shift right now. So I'm like, okay. And I leaned into it
I
like it
love that.
like I had no other choice. Like, this is me. This is the next level, is what
Mhm.
I felt. And I was just so at this point, well, I can't say I was, but at this point right now, looking back, I am so thankful that I listened, and that I'm thankful that yeah, like I listened instead of just going on and brushing it off and just continuing on, just going about my regular if you will, life. Like, I made the shift and leaned into it. And then like you did, just tested
Mhm.
things, you know, went through tests to see, okay, is this legit? And I know that, I'm here now, even in regard to this podcast, and the people that I align with and that I feel that I attract to this podcast. It's no coincidence. As you mentioned, it's no coincidence. Everything now, I have the mindset where everything that I attract, everything that I go through, whether it's perceived as positive or negative at the time, everything has a purpose. And the purpose is to elevate me in some way. So I don't look at life as anything happening to me. There's no victimhood. There's no, everything is it adds an element of excitement to just life in general. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for taking my question.
Yeah. That was a great question. Thank you. But I want to get back to you. So, how did you, like, you predicted, how how do things come to you? Like, for example, a major health crisis in 2000, 19, right before the pandemic. Like, I mean, did you get some, did your uh legs start to hurt? I mean, what type of sign, I mean, what happened for you to that you're seeing these things before they happen? Like, what, if you can give us a bit of insight on what goes on?
I kept getting visions that we needed to have our own type of kit at home that would help us with our health.
Okay.
And it kept coming in over and over again. And then I was seeing that shelves in the grocery store didn't have food on them. So I
Okay.
knew that there was going to be some kind of crisis that would
Mm,
change the world. But it felt
indeed.
very
Indeed.
yeah, and it felt very
It did.
connected to health. It
Okay.
felt like health and vitality. Um, I remember in 2019, I still use oils, but I was using a lot of like the therapeutic oils that a lot
Right.
of people use. And I heard spirit one day because I'll hear words and phrases that pass by my right ear.
Mm,
And
wow.
I heard them say people will need oils at home. I was like, okay. So I he ended up kind of a fun story about you and I talking about manifesting,
Right.
uh, I ended up selling so many oils in 2019 to people because I knew that they were going to need them for therapeutic reasons at home.
Right.
I sold so many that I won a trip to Hawaii.
Mm.
And the mentor that I had, it ended up actually being her last trip that I know of. She passed away soon after that.
Oh, okay.
And so I listen to the words and phrases I hear that when I'm tuned into session time or if I'm teaching, but during podcast interviews, Spirit's usually saying something in my ear about, hey, mention this or don't forget that. And so it's a really good friend to have along
Right.
for the podcast. But yeah, I'll see visions. They play out like little movies. I can see them with my eyes open, or if I close my eyes, I can just see it in my mind's eye.
Right.
So I'm blessed to have all of the major psychic abilities. And I think it was passed down, obviously, through my family, but
Right.
seeing my own astrology chart, I think I came in to do this specific work. And I feel
Mm,
like I've done it before in other
right.
lifetimes. So I'm blessed that, yes, I can make predictions and they're usually accurate.
Yes, because I
Um,
was going to ask you, you can make
mhm.
these predictions. Can you please give me the upcoming Powerball numbers?
Me too. Me too. Me too. You know, it's funny, like the way that the gift works.
Right.
Can you get some of the numbers? Probably. Like if you really were sitting and channeling on it, you could
Right.
probably get
Right.
some of the numbers. But
Right.
the way that I like to explain how the information actually comes through, I think would be helpful for people to understand. It's like playing a game of Pictionary.
Mm, okay.
So spirit's given you a symbol, it's maybe drawn it out, and you have to, as the interpreter, figure out what the heck spirit's trying to tell you.
Right. Right.
So the accuracy of the predictions, I would say, probably doesn't have a whole lot to do with the Pictionary game. I think it actually has more to do with what the psychic or the medium is interpreting that symbol to be.
Mm, okay.
Sometimes it's very symbolic, and
Yes.
you're kind of have,
Esoteric, symbolic.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're having to like
Metaphorical.
decipher. Hmm.
Yes.
You're having to decipher it. But
Hmm.
other times it's very literal. So I'll give you an
Right.
example. With the helicopter airplane crash. So anybody that went over to my Instagram, my Facebook, they could scroll back. I think it was January of 2025 when that happened.
Right.
And they would find a video of me in my pajamas with no makeup on, literally just crawled out of bed because I had a dream and spirit said, you need to say this out loud, make a video right now. So I had a dream about a helicopter and an airplane.
Mm.
And I felt this like panic almost like with that dream. So I know that I was seeing it in advance. So I make the video, I put the video out, I explain what I see in this dream. And a couple days later, the helicopter airplane crash that tragically killed all of those people in the Washington, D.C. area
I remember.
happened.
Yeah.
And so then people that saw the original video that I had made a couple days before go, "Oh my God, you just predicted this."
Mm.
So then they started commenting on that video. But that was a time where it was very, very specific. And I've also had premonitions where
Wow.
three different crimes before they happened. I could see visions of what was about to happen with these crimes. So yeah, it's a fascinating life to live.
Right. Right. And if I may add to this, and you tell me whether you are aware of this or you agree or disagree, but from my perspective, I've learned that we all are have these gifts. It's just some of us have been able to tap into them. We all are receivers and transmitters, up here, and it's just, yeah, some have connected with those gifts and some haven't been able to. So that's amazing that I say that to say this, it's amazing that you have actually being able to connect with those gifts, you know, because we can go, a lot of us can go through a lifetime knowing that we do have the possibility and capability of doing the same, but just haven't been able to align with doing so. So that's amazing.
Yeah, we all have the abilities.
Right.
I think it's more about just tuning our own frequency dial to the right
There you go.
frequency.
Yes, the right
Yeah.
radio station.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's amazing.
We all have it.
Hmm.
Most of my psychic development students will have a primary gift. Like
Right.
they'll either be clairvoyant or they'll be
Hmm.
clairaudient,
Right.
or they'll feel things in their physical body. But I like to tell people it's great if you have one primary one. Like I would focus on the primary one. Maybe you get really lucky and you can develop the second one as well, like a secondary gift. But I wouldn't go after this like feeling like you have to have all of the gifts.
Right.
I think even I'm just having like an epiphany as we're having this conversation. I think I have all of the psychic abilities because
Right.
I am here to teach people how to have their own psychic abilities. And so I think I have to experience all of the different ones and how they work
Right.
so that I can put myself in the shoes of my students.
Mm. Amazing. Yes, and that's also amazing and noble of you that you're um, helping people to help themselves and to develop that themselves instead of um, possibly just saying that, oh, only I can do this and you just come through me, So, which is fine if that works for whoever that works for, but I tend to um, draw more towards those that are not only can do certain things themselves, but want to help others and encourage others to do it as well. So that is absolutely amazing. So I was going to ask you, when you work with people, okay, so what are some of the major um, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but issues and subject matter in regards to what people would come to you for, and how would you help them?
I have a lot of people that come to me that, in some form or fashion, they are having trouble with their own self worth, their confidence.
Right.
I've had to learn a lot around self worth and knowing I'm worthy and lovable, and that I don't have to do anything to prove that to anyone. And so I get a lot of people that it shows up in their life, but maybe they haven't quite figured out that that's the root of it. So maybe their relationship isn't working well, or the job they're in they don't like. And then we start digging into it, and it comes down to the core energy of self worth, self esteem, confidence. So I do get a lot of people that resonate with me that want to do that kind of work so that they can feel that level of confidence where they can choose differently.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people settle. And once you really know your worth, everything in your life changes and you start manifesting so much faster, and you start being blessed in ways that were even bigger than what you had in mind for yourself. So I think it's a key ingredient in success here on Earth School is understanding your worth. I get a lot of people as well that want to start businesses because I've owned several businesses over the years, and they want to know like why are they standing in their own way, or what are they not seeing? So I love channeling business ideas.
Mm.
And even for myself, I get channelings that will be about a new project that I'm going to do and the name of it. And so I really love working on that stuff. But yeah, I work with people from all over the world, and that I'm so grateful for Zoom and that we can all connect together. And I do a lot of live streams as well, um, because I love just connecting with the community.
Absolutely. And thank you for, I won't try to highlight any one thing. There's so many things there that you just mentioned that are just so beautifully, I like to say beautifully orchestrated and articulated. And thank you for saying all those things and giving us some clarity on, even a tip of what you're able to do to help people, to cultivate and to develop and to bring awareness to. Amazing. And how can people find you if they want to seek you out for, anything for to learn about what you do or to seek your assistance? Is there a website? Do you have workshops? Feel free to share.
I have a whole library of classes that are on demand on my website that I've taught.
Okay. Your
Everything
website
from
is what?
spirit and spark.com, all spelled out.
Okay.
Yep.
Spirit and Bark, Bark.
Spark.
Oh,
Spark
Spark.
like a
I'm sorry.
lightning spark.
Spirit and Spark. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spirit and spark.com. Yeah. No, hey, bark's pretty good too, but it's spark.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, I wasn't trying to mess that up, but I was like, oh, when people throw this random words, it'll just catch your attention. That's interesting, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no
Yeah.
mistakes. There are no mistakes, but
No.
spiritandspark.com. Yeah, that's
Yes.
amazing. And yeah, so you
I've
have
got
all your information.
classes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Classes. I've got live stream information on there. I do deep dives that are 2 hours long
wow.
with individuals. So those are on there too. So yeah, check everything out. And there's always a way to reach me on the website if you're trying to wonder, like, should I do that or should I take this class? Like, just reach out and ask me and kind of tell me what you're looking for, and I can make more of a personalized recommendation.
Yeah, and I'll also personally try to check you out on Instagram. My Instagram is 333 Empower. If you find me before I find you, EM 333 EMPOWER. That's yeah,
Nice.
that's me. And I put up the shorts and the reels from these podcast segments. So you'll end
Tag
up
me.
having a starring role on my profile in the
Yeah, tag me on Instagram. It's under Dallisa Hocking, so you'll see it.
Okay, yeah, I'll find you. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's just do something spontaneous here while we're
Okay.
here. Yeah, and if while I'm finding this, if there's something that you want to share before we conclude, please do. Please.
Yeah, I will, because you mentioned
Hmm.
not being a victim energy earlier.
Yes.
And that has been one of the most eye-opening things I've learned over the last few years is really seeing clearly the drama triangle, which is the rescuer healer on one point. Then
Uh-huh.
you've got another point that is the victim energy, the person who's like, oh, woe is me, everything always goes wrong. And then the third point on the triangle is the villain or the persecutor, and how so many of us in so many relationships, we bounce around the drama triangle. So if anybody is really trying to get out of a victim mentality or trying to not be everyone's savior because they realize it's exhausting them,
Hmm.
I would recommend the book The Power of Ted by David Emerald. It's a quick read, but it's really good, and it's one of those books that completely changed my life.
The power of what?
Ted, like the guy's name, TED, Ted.
Oh, TED, like the TED Talks. Hmm.
Yes, yes. The Power of
Okay.
Ted by David Emerald. And I would get the paperback so that you have a physical copy because there are a couple of little simple charts in it that I think are helpful. But yeah,
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. And that right there, is just the cherry on top of the cake because myself I love reading. So yeah, so I'm gonna rewatch this if I forget that title and
just
get
email me.
yeah, and get that out of there so I can order that book. So yeah, I love reading. Yep. Hmm. I'm
Yeah, the
reading a
one I'm
book.
reading right. Oh, I
Oh,
was
go
gonna say
ahead.
the one I'm reading right now is called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and it's really good. It's just a lot about releasing control, letting them do what they're gonna do, and then you get to decide what you're gonna do. But it's a great book, The Let Them Theory.
The Let Them Theory by who?
Mel Robbins. It's a
Mel
lady.
Robbins.
Yeah, she's got a great podcast as well. MEL, so Mel and then Robbins. Hmm.
Robbins. Yes. I'm reading a book right now. It's a manifestation book, and it's entitled "Your Wish Is Your Command" by Kevin Tr Trudeau. So I don't know. It's
Oh, probably
backwards.
Trudeau. Yep,
Yeah.
Kevin Trudeau. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. And it's an
nice.
amazing, amazing book. Look, I don't have any stake in his, it's amazing. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay,
Thus
I'll check it
far,
out.
yeah, I'm about
Mhm.
a little over a quarter of a way through, maybe almost halfway through. Amazing, powerful,
Okay,
powerful
okay.
book. Yep. Okay, but well, thank you again, Delisa, for being here and for sharing your amazing insight, your perspectives, your knowledge, your truths, your wisdom, your passions, whatever, just all of it. Thank you for being your authentic self and for just sharing with us. And yeah, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Lute. This was a delight, and I hope we get to do it again.
Absolutely, we can. Yep. So, everyone else, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this, help the platform grow, and help get this amazing, extraordinary information out there. Love and appreciation to everyone. Until next time, see you soon. Enlightened, empowered, evolved.